Hey there, Ben Mankiewicz with you on TCM. One of today's most popular novelists, Jane Austen, was born 250 years ago. We're celebrating that auspicious occasion tonight with a lineup of some of the best film adaptations of her books. Born in England's Hampshire County on December 16th, 1775, and yes, technically that was yesterday, Jane Austen was the seventh of 8 children. Her father, a minister, died in 1805, forcing Austen, her mother, and her sister to depend on the generosity of their male relatives to survive. Her first published novel is clearly drawn from that experience. Up next, the movie adapted from that book. From Columbia Pictures in 1995, Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet star in Sense and Sensibility. It's the story of 2 sisters, one an impulsive romantic, a woman relying chiefly on her senses, the other a pragmatist with a more reserved and sensible approach to life. Emma Thompson is the steadfastly rational sister, Eleanor, with Kate Winslet as the passionate, outspoken younger sister, Marianne. Their world is upended when their father dies, and because, as women, they're not permitted to inherit the family fortune, they're forced to carve out a much more modest life along with their mother and youngest sister. Similar circumstances come up often one way or another in Jane Austen's novels. Knowing its importance, the Sense and Sensibility screenwriter knew she needed to convey the economic limitations of Austen's heroines. That screenwriter was also the film's star, Emma Thompson. I had to make it clearer, Thompson said, because it's rather difficult to explain to the audience who isn't completely up on the mores and manners of that period that women of this class could not just go and take a job. At the time, Emma Thompson was relatively fresh off winning the Best Actress Academy Award for Howard's End, released in 1992. At the time she won the Oscar, Thompson had already been working on the Sense and Sensibility screenplay for better than 2 years. Thompson had never written a screenplay before. Producer Lindsay Duran hired her anyway because, 1, they liked working together, and 2, Thompson had written some short comedy pieces that Duran believed reflected the mood she was looking for. Emma Thompson spent 5 years working on the script, and it paid off. She won her second Oscar for her adapted screenplay. Thompson remains the only person to have Academy Awards for acting and writing. From 1995, directed by Ang Lee, also with Hugh Grant, Alan Rickman, Gemma Jones, and Greg Wise. Sense and Sensibility. To direct the thoroughly English Jane Austen story, Sense and Sensibility, producer Lindsay Duran made a bold decision, and she hired Taiwanese filmmaker Ang Lee. He'd never made a movie in England, and each of his previous films were in his native language, Mandarin Chinese, except for The Wedding Banquet from 1993, which was only partially in English. When Duran looked at Lee's Chinese language pictures, including 2 Oscar-nominated for Best Foreign Language Film, The Wedding Banquet and Eat, Drink, Man, Woman, she saw movies that shared much in common with Sense and Sensibility. They told stories that examined the importance and complexities of family. As for the London-born Cambridge graduate Emma Thompson, she felt completely comfortable adapting Austen's novel, though it took her several years. In addition to winning an Oscar for her screenplay, Thompson also won a Golden Globe. Always endearingly witty, Thompson decided to give her acceptance speech at the Globes as Jane Austen, reacting to attending a modern awards show. You should definitely check it out on YouTube. She wraps it up with Austen mispronouncing her name in a final quip. Managed to avoid hoyden Emily Tompkinson, who has purloined my creation and added things of her own. Nefarious creature. That was my Emma Thompson impersonation. I think better than any other host, except maybe Alicia. Coming up, we continue to celebrate Jane Austen's 250th birthday with another film adaptation from 1995, this one for BBC television, Persuasion. It's next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Persuasion, then Pride and Prejudice. And later, the Brighton Strangler. TCM gets choked up tonight.